What's up, guys? It's Pickles82, and I am back with another girl craft. So, I think in the last episode, we were talking about getting up this mountain, and also because of, my, when I hit my nose on, like, the thing fell on my nose, I think. Yeah, something like that. But today I'm going to tell you guys what happened actually last year on 4th of July. So it was like a pool party type thing. So I was like, oh, cool. Because like my mom, this guy she works with, like he had a 4th of July party. So I was like, all right. I got there and I was like, okay. And I lost my iPod at his house too. So it was really crazy. But so when I got to the house, I was like so happy, and he's like a slide into his pool, like one of those mechanical ones. So he was like, okay. So I went, like I slid down it, and I slid down that slide like a few times, and then my friend's like, oh, she's only like her name's like Alana, and she's only like 7 or 8. So she had like pebbles, and she dropped them in the pool, like, I swear to God, like 5 times. So I had to, and then her favorite one, the clear one, of course, is hiding somewhere. Like, apparently it didn't want to come out. So I'm like, holy crap. So she's like, oh my God, my favorite pebble. And then we borrowed these goggles from somebody, okay, as soon as I get there. But this one kid, and we like knew him and everything. So he's like, oh yeah, you can borrow my goggles. And then I'd go, like, cause I like swimming, because I've known swimming, like, I could swim since I was like 3 years old. So I was like swimming, diving, and then I see like this pebble. Well, I go to grab it, and my face went black. Like, I didn't see anything. So I like jump out of the pool. Like, I was really smart to do this, but I jumped out of the pool. I'm surprised, like, because I was, like, surprised I didn't have a concussion. But I, like, jumped out of this pool, and I was like, holy crap, what happened? And I just start, like, really badly crying. Like, because you cry when things hurt. Like, guys cry when their turtle gets kicked. Because it hurts. So, oh, apple. But, so I'm like, okay. So I'm like crying, and then all I see is like my mom run over, and she's like, Carly, what happened? What happened? I was like, I don't know. All I saw was I went to grab a pebble, and my face went black. So I end up like getting the story. Like, they're like, oh my God, 2 guys just jumped on top of her when she was at the bottom of the pool. And like the guy that jumped on me, he had like a blood mark on his elbow for me. And it was just really crazy, but he had like a blood mark from my, because my eyebrow got hit, like it was my eyebrow. So I have a scar on my eyebrow, like to this day, you can still like, so they drive us to the hospital, and guess who's driving us? My mom was like, my mom drinks wine and stuff, and like my dad drinks beer and stuff. So they didn't want to drive me because they didn't want to like, you know, get in a car accident or anything. 'Cause they weren't drunk, they were just like, they drank some, but not like a lot. So they were like, okay. So the kid that gave me the goggles, his mom drove us. And they were like cheap goggles. So if you're wondering how they cut me, they didn't have the padding that some goggles do. So it was just like, it was so weird how it happened. And then when it, oh God, I don't want to fall. So it was like, and then I ended up getting there and like at the hospital, and I was like crying because it hurt so bad, and I had to put a towel on it. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, I laid down where they were like putting the stitches on me, and like they were putting it on me, and guess what? They sometimes have to pin like 18-year-olds down because of it. Like, I don't like needles, but there was a needle going through my eyebrow, and I really didn't care. Like, I really hate needles. I swear to God. When I turn 11, I have to get needles, so I'm really scared. But, so, I was like, oh my God. I was just, like, talking, and I didn't care, and then the next thing I know, it's done. And my mom took a picture of my eyebrow, before they put like the stitches on it and stuff. So I was like, oh my god, oh my god. So I was like, oh mom, can I see it? Can I see it? And she was like, all right, all right. And then I ended up like taking a picture that night of my eyebrow being like really bad damaged. And the worst part was it was like 4th of July. Oh my god, why did I break that? Alright, just crazy. So another story I have is when I was this year. So I don't know if you guys know, but I do race dirt bikes. If you guys don't know what they are motor-powered bikes, I guess. Whatever you want to say. So I was like, we were at the race, and I was racing. So as soon as the start begins, I get really bad start. Because my bike, I guess when it's starting, it didn't this race either. Like, I had a bad start again. So I was like, oh my god. It was starting, and I was like getting all mad. And then finally my bike goes, so I'm like turning the corner and finding people. So I guess like the ghost riders or a girl that couldn't get her bike started, like I fell at the corner. I fell like right at the corner, and it was just really crazy. But when I fell, I was like really, like I was trying to get my bike up, and now like after this story, I'll tell you what I do now because of this. So I was like looking around, and I couldn't, like I was picking my bike up. Next thing I know, this orange bike turns the corner. A girl in my class, I guess, couldn't get her bike started. She turns the corner, doesn't see me coming. I don't see her coming. She like runs straight into me, and I like fall to the floor screaming, not crying, like crying. It was really bad. So she hits me with her dirt bike in the leg. Like when I fell, like her dirt bike like ran over my leg, I think. So it was a buckle fracture. So my leg wasn't like broken, but it was like almost broken, like not bad broken, but kind of broken. So I was like, Gigi, what are you doing? But I was like crying, and my next door neighbor is like one of the nicest people I know. I'm sorry. My dog was getting a ball, and the other dog barked at him. So his name is Billy, and I love him so much. He's my next door neighbor, and his son is my best friend, who also races. And it's not my best friend in the story with the 2nd grade. That was like another best friend. William wasn't in my class. And, oh my god. So, his dad just like runs over to me. And it wasn't even that. His dad didn't even mean to be there. Like, his dad was just wandering around. And all I know is this, like, Billy comes up to me. That's his dad. Billy comes up to me. And he's like picking me up. And he's like, it's all right. I'll call your parents. So, they were calling my parents. And I was like freaking out, like crying. And then one of the, Brian, he's a race, like, he says like 10 seconds and stuff. Because we have like a countdown before we start. So he's like, 10 seconds. Well, so he had to make sure people avoided. So this one guy was turning the corner, but didn't hit me. But he was like screaming at him because he was almost hit me. Yeah, crazy. Alright, so back to where I was. So when I got like hurt really bad, like the paramedics came and they're like, we can just drive you there, Carly. Like my parents were like, Carly, do you want to drive there, or do you want the ambulance to take you? And I was like, the ambulance, because I like worst case scenario, like my parents could, like they could hit a big bump or something. So I ended up having my foot on this metal thing, and my foot hurt so bad. Like, not bad, but my heel was on it. My heel was hurting so bad. I was like, ow, my heel. And they were like, we can't move it right now, but we will. And I was like, okay. So I was like freaking out. And I was like, and then they had to like, so when we got to the hospital, they put it on, I think it was the same hospital that I got my stitches. So the hospital, they put like this bandage on me, and I had crutches for like maybe a week, I think, or like 3 weeks, I think. And I duct taped them, and yeah. But I like didn't break it, but it was a buckle fracture. I told you guys that. And when I buckle fractured it, it like it wasn't bent, but it wasn't cracked. It was like bent. So and then I ended up being put in this black boot that I had to wear for almost a month. And yeah, it was just crazy. So, I mean, I'm happy that I'm here today and they didn't run over something that was really important, like my face. Not my face, I mean my like head or anything. That's what I meant, not my face. I'm just happy they didn't run over anything like that. So, alright, let's dye all these magenta. This turns pink so we can make. My dog just picked up his ball and then jumped right back into his beanbag. What are you doing? This dog is crazy. Okay, so I guess we're gonna dye this like 2 magenta and then like 2 pink. So I guess I can dye you pink. And you pink. You pink. You pink. You magenta. Alright. Shear. I like the sound when you shear them. But it was just really bad. So I think I have like time for one more story. Whoa, why'd I get white? It was magenta. What? Oh, that's crazy. But alright, I think I have one more story to tell you guys. Let me think about it. Oh God, let me think. Okay, so one time I was like 3, and my mom told me this story, but I was like 3, and these bears they were near a campsite, and I was like, oh my God, it's their bears, and so I was like, oh my God, so I ran up to like one of the bears, and they started running, and I started chasing after it. And my mom had to literally run after me to get me like away from it. It was so weird. And then I was like cracking up hearing this story. Oh my God. Alright, so I have 12 of that and 5 of this. So I guess I'll work on getting like wool and stuff while like not a break. I mean like towards not the end, but I mean like not before. Like, until the next episode, like, I'm gonna get more wool, but not videotape. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Girlcraft. I had fun telling you guys stories. Bye!